Welcome to my channel for learning algorithmic problem solving. Session 4 covers flowchart. This is one of the notation of representing the algorithm. Already in the session 3 we have seen pseudocode. Next notation is flowchart. So it is a graphical representation of the logic of the problem solving. So if you are writing the algorithm first, that is the detailed description. Now we can convert it into graphical representation using this flowchart. So here we can use some shapes and basic symbols, and with the help of that we can construct the flowchart. And the main purpose of the flowchart is to give a clear visual representation to the programmer. So it will give the separate steps of the process in a sequential order, so that the programmer can easily understand the actual logic of the code, and it will be useful to the programmer for developing the actual code. So there are some guidelines available. We have to follow the guidelines for drawing the flowchart. That is, some standard symbols are there. We have to use the symbols. Each and every symbol should be drawn in a clear manner, and we have to use the logical order of the algorithm. To start the flowchart and to represent the end of the flowchart, you have to use the terminator symbol, that is the normal oval shape. And we have to use the rectangle box for the process symbol, that is normal calculation or any computation. You have to use this rectangular shape. And for decision making, we have to use the diamond symbol. And the thing is, if you are using the control statement and you are checking the condition, if the condition true means a part of the code is executed, and if it is false means another part of the code is executed. So that you must give label here. Either you have to give yes or no, or true or false. So if the condition is true means what happened, and if the condition is false means what happened. So that control line should be mentioned clearly. So the label is must for decision making statement. Then if you want to represent more than one symbols in multiple pages, then we have to connect that symbols. So in that situation we can go for this connector. This is nothing but a normal circle. To get input from the user and to display the output, we can use the parallelogram. And if you want to make any weight representation, or if you want to indicate a delay, you have to use the symbol. Arrow mark is used to represent the flow lines. At any time the flow line should not cut each other. And to represent function, we have to use this function call symbol. That is the normal rectangle with two lines. No need to draw any arrow mark from the function symbol. So this is a summary of the symbols we are using in the flowchart. So for each and every instruction, based on the instruction type, we have to use the specific symbols, and you have to draw in a clear manner. Then you have to show the arrow lines to represent the flow of execution of the statement. So then only the programmer can understand the actual logic and actual flow of the program. So let us see the example for finding area of the circle. So we have to represent the starting and ending of the flowchart using the terminator symbol. Then we are getting the value, that is r, radius value from the user. So that I am using parallelogram for reading r. Then for calculation, pi r square, I am using rectangle box, that is a process symbol. Then after calculating the area, I have to print the area. Again I have to use this parallelogram symbol, and finally I am end this flowchart. So advantages of flowchart. So it's mainly used for better communication of that logic of the program. And if you are representing it pictorially or graphically, the programmer can make easy analysis about the logic of the program. So it will give effective analysis. And once you have completed your process, you are performing the documentation. So this flowchart give a good documentation about the logic of the program, and it will give or it will act as the blueprint for the actual code, programming code. so that the programmer can develop the sequence clearly. And then with the help of flowchart, we can easily debug the process, because it will shows the control lines and the actual flow of the program, so that the programmer can easily find if there is any problem arises. Then maintenance also easy. Flowchart has some limitations too, because if you are developing a flowchart for some complex program, it will take very much amount of time, and once you have complete the flowchart process, and if you want to make any alteration in your code, we have to redraw the flowchart completely, and we can't type the symbols. We have to redraw the symbols again. So the reproduction, it will create a problem, so that it will increase the cost for constructing flowchart. This shows the flowchart for selection statement. So the starting is represented by using oval symbol, and I have to read two numbers, so that I am using parallelogram, and then I have to compare these two numbers, or I am using diamond symbol, and if the condition is true means the right hand side process symbol will be executed, and if it is false means the left hand side process will be taken. And after completing this process, I have to print the result, so that I am using parallelogram, and finally I have to stop the flowchart. And this is the flowchart for representing looping statement. So here I am going to represent printing even numbers between 0 and 99. So that I have to initialize the value first. So I am initializing n as 99 and starting in even number is 2, so that I am assigning I as 2. So normal initialization, I am using this process symbol, and I have to check the condition I less than or equal to n. So again I am using diamond symbol here, and if the condition is true means, that is if I am present within the limit means, I have to check whether the number is odd or even. So for checking even, I am using the modulo operator I mod 2. So the modulo operator provide the remainder value, so that if the number is divisible by 2, I can get the remainder as 0. So if it is 0 means, I can tell that number is even number, so that I can print the number, print I, and I have to increment the value of I by 1. And if the condition is false, that is if the number is not an even number means, I don't want to print the result, so that I have to skip this step, and I can directly move on to I is equal to I plus 1 statement. So this process is repeated until we reach the value I as n. Once we reach the value, we can come out of the loop and we can stop the process. So here I am showing difference between algorithm, flowchart and pseudocode. Algorithm is a sequence of instruction used to solve a particular problem. Flowchart is the graphical representation of that algorithm, and pseudocode is the normal readable code to represent the algorithm. So here flowchart, we can use some symbols, basic symbols, we can draw the diagram, and for pseudocode we have to use the keyword, that is structured construct of the programming language to represent the algorithm. And for developing both flowchart and pseudocode, the user does not need any programming language knowledge. By studying the basic symbols, they can easily draw the flowchart, and with the help of the keywords, they can easily write the pseudocode. Let's end the session. I hope the session was useful to you. Thanks for watching.